welcome to today's pick a card reading. So we'll be looking at what are people's first impressions of you. This is going to be a quick pick a card reading. I'm going to be pulling from several different decks. And we'll just see what everybody thinks about you when they first meet you. There are 3 different piles. Feel free to pick more than one pile, and this is a timeless reading. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, that link is in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Hello, pile number 1. Let's go ahead and jump right into your reading. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and higher beings, please help me to deliver the correct and truest message for pile number 1. What are people's first impressions about pile number 1? Spirit. One more card, please, Spirit. One more. Thank you. So we've got 5 of Wands, and I'll rearrange all these in just a second. And we've got King of Pentacles. 2 more cards, please, Spirit, for pile number 1. What are people's first impressions of pile number 1? So we've got openness. And what else? One more card, please. Ooh, that came flying out. Blessings. Okay. That goes well with the King of Pentacles. Alright, let's get 2 cards from this deck. And 1 more, please. I feel like this one really wants to come out. We've got, Strength, Leo energy. And then we've got the Devil, Capricorn energy. And then 2 more from this deck, please, Spirit. What are people's first impressions of pile number 1? Ace of Wands started to come out. What are people's first impressions of pile number 1? 1 more, please. Thank you. So we've got 8 of Wands and the Page of Swords. Okay. Let's make sure everything is lined up and on the screen. And we'll go ahead and jump right in. So I feel like a lot of people, I'm going to be straight up with you, pile number 1. A lot of people might be jealous of you. With this King of Pentacles and the Devil energy, as well as the Blessings card, it feels like a lot of you, you might be very abundant, prosperous, or you might have a lot of good luck in life. And even if you don't feel that way, again, this is the way other people view you, or people's first impressions of you. This, is before they really get to know you. It's just the impression you give off. On a first meeting, it feels like they see you as somebody who, it feels very like classy, elegant, sophisticated, business-like, career-minded, goal-oriented type of energy, because the King of Pentacles is someone who's very accomplished, somebody who has a lot of great success, especially financially, and is very secure and prosperous and stable. Can also be like a great boss or some sort of leader, great parent, so just kind of like an all-around great person, right? But then when you have this Devil energy here, it feels like a lot of people get jealous, honestly, because the Devil represents the negative side of a lot of things. It feels like people might be a bit obsessed with, what you do in life. If you're, let's say, for instance, somebody meets you and they see that you just come off as more sophisticated and classy, or you drive a sports car or something like that, they're going to automatically be like jealous and kind of obsessed with like, well, what do you do for a living? Like, how much money do you make? How many houses do you have? And do you own a yacht? And, just stuff like that. It's almost like a nosy energy. This is kind of weird. But I also get that they see you as somebody who is very much like a strong leader. I know I said that a minute ago with the King of Pentacles, but that's what it feels like. Somebody who kind of stands out. It's interesting because we've got the Five of Wands here, and that's usually about like conflicts and drama, but this can be about like walking away from drama, and stuff that's not really worth your time or worthy of your time. Being able to stand up for yourself and being very ambitious. So it feels like, again, they see you as somebody who gets stuff done. You're very accomplished, maybe even educated. Openness here is like somebody, it makes me think of like open-mindedness. Somebody who is open to a lot of possibilities, is very flexible, doesn't look down on others, even though you may have a lot. And if you're not there yet, it feels like this is something that, you just give off that vibe, right? But they see you as some sort of like somebody who can kind of just like quash any sort of drama and conflict, especially in like the workplace. But even outside of that, it's like it feels very mature. It's very mature energy. Other people could be very immature, and then here you come along and you're just like, yo, can we just cut that out, in that presence, that strength, that Leo energy, it's just like, it can be very fun-loving and having a good time, but it's also that presence of, like, don't mess with me. I don't know how else to describe it. And we've got the Eight of Wands, which is communications, rapid change, domino effect. I feel like Eight of Wands, again, it feels like you might travel a lot, or they get the impression that you travel a lot, maybe for business, because that is a travel card. I'm seeing the correspondence on here. So I feel like, too, you may be somebody where a lot of people want to contact you. They want to reach out to you. They want your business card. They want your number. They want to be in your DMs. Something along those lines, because this is all about like communication. And even if you aren't in a position of power right now, they may think that you have something to offer them. For instance, you may have a lot of contacts. You may be good at networking, and they may be like, well, can I send you an email about this, and can you get back to me on that? Can I give you my business card and you call me and we'll set something up? You know what I mean? It just feels like, oh, well, that person has connections. They have the Midas touch, right? That's what the King of Pentacles is. So it feels like there's this sort of, again, it's like a domino effect. It's like, oh, well, if you have this connection, then I could also be connected to that person. It's very just like a career. They see you as very just career-minded, goal-oriented type of person. With the Page of Swords, this is somebody who's curious, clever, and chatty. So again, it's like you still come off as friendly. It just feels like you don't want to partake in any sort of like office drama, or even, I'm seeing like something where you could be out like a restaurant and like a couple of tables over, somebody is like arguing with somebody at another table and nobody else is saying anything, and you might be the type of person to be like, y'all, can we cut this out? Like, people are trying to eat and there are kids in here. You know what I mean? That's the kind of energy it feels like. That leader, that strength energy. But it feels too, because, we've got the little desk here. Again, it feels like a workplace. It just feels, I don't know, there's something about messages, communication. Page of Swords to me is about some sort of communication. And with this letter here, there's something here about people wanting to communicate with you. They see you as very, like, you're able to hold a conversation. They want to have a conversation with you. But there's also something here about they want to connect with you specifically because you might have some connections. You've been blessed with that. I feel like because you're this down-to-earth individual. By the way, King of Pentacles is Taurus energy, if I didn't say that earlier. Because you're this down-to-earth individual and very open, it's like people want to be in your presence. They want to kind of like be in your circle, have you as a connection, especially if you're in some sort of industry and you specialize in something. They're like, oh, yeah, pile number one can get me the hookup with, that other person, and they could help my business too, or, something along those lines. They just see you as somebody who's very abundant, prosperous, and almost like, not just a leader, but like an expert almost in whatever it is you do, whatever your field is. Even if you don't feel like you're an expert, again, this is a first impression. It's the impression that you give off, the aura about you, that you know what you're talking about. So, those are all the messages I have for you, pile number ones. This is a great start to the reading. I like this. This is pretty straightforward, though. So, that's how other people view you. That's their first impressions of you. So, hopefully something in this reading resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Hello, pile number 2. Let's go ahead and jump right into your reading. Find out what people's first impressions of you are. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and higher beings, please help me to deliver the correct and truest message for pile number 2 about people's first impressions of them. I need 2 cards, please, Spirit. What are people's first impressions of pile number 2? Pile number 2. What are people's first impressions? I'll get to these cards in just a minute. So we got Ace of Wands and Four of Wands. Getting a very fiery energy. What are people's first impressions of pile number 2? What are people's first impressions of pile number 2? Well, 2 cards, please, Spirit. People's first impressions of pile number 2. Thank you. We've got love. Oh. And we've got going forward. I actually love this because Four of Wands is like a card of celebration, and love can be like marriage and stuff. 2 cards, please, Spirit. Woo. Okay. So we've got the World, which is, it can be Capricorn energy because technically it's Saturn. But a lot of people will read it as fixed energy, so like Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. And then we've got 6 of Swords. 2 more cards from the final deck, please, Spirit. What are people's first impressions of pile number 2? So we've got the Knight of Coins, Knight of Pentacles, which is, mine just went like Virgo energy. And then King of Cups, which is Scorpio energy. Okay. And you don't have to be any of those zodiac signs. It could just be that people see you as that kind of energy. That's the aura you give off. Okay, I think that's all. Okay, so first up, we've got Ace of Wands. So this is like a new opportunity, new beginning, being bold and courageous and being passionate about something, going after what it is you truly want and taking action towards that. They may see you as somebody who's like fearless, like you're not afraid of change, you're not afraid to go after what you want. Four of Wands is the 1111 card. It's about celebration, peace and prosperity in your life, or peace and contentment also in personal life. Can be like a wedding card, getting a home. It's laying a foundation for stability in the future. Then here's the love card. It's pretty self-explanatory. This always makes me think of Hawaii for some reason. I don't know what it is about it. And even though it's got these columns right here in the city, somewhere in the background, it probably should be somewhere like Italy, but I don't know what it is about. I think it's like this flower makes me think, I don't know, all the greenery and stuff. But I keep hearing Italy or Greece. We got going forward, which is basically, interestingly, kind of like the Ace of Wands, like starting a new path, going after what you want. There's the sun at the end, which is, you know, your ultimate happiness. The World is about completion, achievements, and accomplishments, and some sort of, you know, endings. You've completed a cycle and starting fresh. I love that it came out underneath the Ace of Wands, which is, you know, about new beginnings. And then we got the ending here. Six of Swords, moving on from challenging times towards calmer waters, leaving the past behind, going after what it is you want, not letting anything hold you back. This can also be a card of travel. So the World and the Six of Swords are both cards of travel. I love that we have the path here too. And then we've got Knight of Coins, which is responsible, consistent, and hardworking. This is also the slowest moving knight in the deck. Takes, and you can see it's got the slow sign here. Yeah, definitely takes a while to get going. But the thing about this knight is he likes to plan everything out before taking action. So, King of Cups, non-toxic masculinity, emotional maturity, and compassion. Yeah. This is the king that's not afraid to tap into his emotions. He's very compassionate towards others. You know, he's just very emotionally stable, I guess. So what I'm seeing is that a lot of you could be married, or about to be married. So I feel like people's first impressions of you are that you could be married, or you're about to be, because with that love and the Four of Wands here, there's something here about, and even like Nine of Coins, it's like a long-term stable commitment. I feel like people's first impressions of you is that even if you aren't, you know, like a long-term committed relationship or marriage, it's like they see you as someone who's not afraid to go after what you want. You might be a person who, you know, has a lot of new opportunities, or you just kind of, you're very passionate about certain things or aspects in your life, and you aren't afraid to follow that path just to see where it leads. You may also like a lot of travel. I feel like some of you with these travel cards and then the Knight of Pentacles, you may be the kind of traveler who likes to plan everything out ahead of time. Make sure that all your bases are covered. I wouldn't say as far as like an itinerary, but you want to make sure that you do have a hotel to stay in, and you do know, you know, where the nice restaurants are. You've been on Google Maps to look, and you know what I mean? Like, you've checked out the reviews. That's what it feels like. So a lot of people could see you as somebody who likes to travel, who might go off the beaten path sometimes compared to others. But that you aren't afraid to, you know, move on, leave something behind if it's not serving you. It just feels like you have this very warm, compassionate energy to you with that love card and the King of Cups. It's like you're very emotionally stable, you're emotionally mature, you're compassionate. Again, it's like a nurturing energy. It's like a motherly or fatherly kind of energy, in a very non-toxic way, you know? There's something here too about you may be the type of person, because you are so compassionate, where you help people on their journey. But this going forward, it's making me think of a new path. Towards the sun is like towards happiness, positivity, optimism, right? So you may be the type of person who helps people along, like helps people plan out, you know, what they need to do to step forward on their new journey, what they need to leave behind, what chapter they need to close out in their life. I feel like you've had to do that several times before. And I wouldn't say like you might even joke about it and say I'm like a pro at this, but I wouldn't say it's that. I think it's just that you're somebody, because you've matured, you understand that life has a lot of lessons attached to it, and you learn from those lessons, and you learn from mistakes, and you're mature about it. You've grown up, and you've moved on. This feels honestly like at least someone who's in their 30s. Like, it's a bit, I'm not saying people in their 20s and stuff can't be mature. I'm just saying it just feels like somebody who's been through a little bit more in life than a younger generation. But yeah, it just feels like you have left a lot behind. You've left a lot of things that were challenging to you. You've moved on. You just want peace and contentment. You feel like somebody who I think people see you as somebody who's very accomplished, who's done a lot in life. Even if you don't feel that way, again, this is other people's first impressions. They see you as somebody who's just very responsible and hardworking, and you still know how to have a good time. It's like you love others, you love yourself. Maybe you have kids, you love your kids, you love your pets, something along that. You know, you have a house that's taken care of, or just a home. But it's something about you aren't afraid to close out those chapters that don't serve you, and start something fresh and new. So it's like you're ready to go after what you're passionate about. And I do feel like you kind of plan everything out with that Knight of Pentacles before taking action, before going forward on your journey. But once you do, it's like you're okay with that. It's like celebration. You're happy. You're ready. You wanted that peace and prosperity. And I feel like that is how people view you, is somebody who doesn't stay stuck and stagnant. You're somebody who, if it's, you know, if something's not working in your life, you're going to fix it. You don't know what you're going to do at first, but you're going to sit down and come up with a plan, and then you're going to fix it. And I feel like you're not going to go screaming and crying about things that don't work out. That's where that emotional maturity comes in. You're just going to be like, okay, how can I, you know, come up with some next steps to move in the right direction towards my happiness? What is my ultimate wish fulfillment? How can I reach that goal? And I feel like they see you as somebody who can just not put everything aside, but you aren't afraid of change, right? And a lot of people are. So I feel like they kind of look up to you in that regard, that you have no problem closing out cycles and chapters in your life and starting something new. So those are all the messages I have for you, pile number 2. Hopefully something in this reading resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and jump right into your reading. Find out what messages Spirit has for you. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and higher beings, please help me to deliver the correct and truest message for pile number 3 about people's first impressions of them. I need 2 cards, please, Spirit. What are people's first impressions of pile number 3? What are people's first impressions of pile number 3? And I'll fix all of these in a minute. What are people's first impressions of pile number 3? One more, please. One more. People's first impressions of pile number 3, Spirit. Okay. 2 from this deck, please. One more, please. Okay, we got 2 more. And then 2 from this deck. Ten of Pentacles just tried to come out, but it did not. So some of you are working towards getting some sort of stability in your life. Okay. Make sure everything. This is going to be a heavy one, I can already tell. This. Okay. So, let's go over each of the cards. And we got a bonus one for this, which hasn't come out in the other piles. We've got 8 of Cups. This is basically walking away from what no longer emotionally fulfills you. It's like the need to move on, seeking more in life than what you are experiencing, a spiritual quest, choosing to make big life changes, a change in priorities, and leaving home. It's like a transition. It can also be about travel as well. 9 of Swords. Unfounded fear, expecting the worst, thus creating self-fulfilling prophecies. Allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the situation, sleepless nights, refocus your thoughts. Then we've got forgiveness. Interestingly, the moon on this card looks the same as the moon on that card. So forgiveness could be about forgiving yourself, forgiving others. We got transformation. I love this card. This always makes me think of death. The death card, Scorpio energy. Death, rebirth, transformation, which is what the butterfly goes through. Also, butterflies could be some sort of symbol that you like, or maybe you just give off that energy of, I don't know, there's something very like soft about you, is what comes to mind. We've got Nine of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment, something that you have been wanting emotionally. You know, we've got Eight of Cups here, that you're walking away from something that's not making you happy and walking towards something that does. Ten of Wands, something is a heavy burden and that weight needs to be lifted. Two of Wands, planning out the future, you know, being stuck on going in two different directions, like trying to figure out which way you want to go. Six of Coins is charitable giving, shared wealth and generosity, about an equal give and take. What you put out in the world, you get back. Then we've got King of Coins, King of Pentacles, grounded, successful, business empire. Okay. What are people's first impressions of you? Pile number 3. I think they see you as somebody who's been through a lot. I think they see you as somebody who, at one point, you had a lot going on in your life. Because there is some heavy energy here. It's like you were somebody who, you had a lot to worry about. You weren't sure how you were going to get out of your situation. There could have been, you know, somebody else in the situation or other people, and you know, it's something that kept you up at night, and you couldn't figure out how to move on, how to get out of this, or get out of the situation, get over this obstacle in your path, this roadblock essentially, and you had to basically walk away, and leave someone or something behind that wasn't fulfilling you anymore. You were ready to move on. I feel like a lot of you, this forgiveness card, now you could be forgiving someone else. It could be that people see that you're very forgiving as a person, but this could have been that they learned that you had to forgive yourself. Maybe, you know, Nine of Swords is like self-deprecating, creating all these negative thoughts in your head so that they become self-fulfilling prophecies. It's like self-sabotage, essentially. And I think you had to get out of that energy, pile number 3. And I think that's what a lot of people see, is that you had to go through this transformation. You had to forgive yourself for being so hard on yourself. I think you also had to forgive other people for making you believe that you couldn't accomplish your goals and dreams, whatever they may be. And I feel like a lot of people see that you had a lot of stress in your life, a lot of burdens, and that you had to release all of that in order to move forward towards something that would make you happy. And I feel like you had to really just pick and choose what direction you wanted to go in. And I think that could have been the hardest part. Besides letting go of whatever this was. Now this could be a person, a place, or a thing. Whatever situation you're in, it's going to be different for everyone. But it feels like you had to really just take the first steps. You just had to choose a direction and take the first steps. And once you did, you ended up on a new path. And people see that, you know, you had to leave all that behind. That you're tougher than they thought, you know. But I feel like you're going towards wish fulfillment. People see that you have, if you don't have it yet, this is what they will see, okay? You have a lot of success. You have a wish fulfillment. It's like you've created some sort of business empire. You're very successful, very hardworking, very grounded though, and you aren't afraid to be charitable and help others, right? It's like you have a good balance. It's almost like karma, like what you put out, you get back, right? With that 6 of coins. So you aren't afraid to help people who are less fortunate, and you know, people aren't afraid to actually like help you as well. Some of you could run a non-profit, I'm picking up. Maybe you've been through something traumatic in your life and you wanted to open up a bit, you know, a non-profit organization where you can help others who've been through the same, because you've been there, done that. For others of you, this is just building a business that's going to be extremely successful with that King of Coins. And it feels like something you've worked really hard towards. It's just that people see, I feel like this is more, once people really get to talking to you, they don't realize how much you've been through, right? So it's like when their first impressions are, after talking to you, is that, wow, like this person's been through a lot, kind of been to hell and back, you know, went through this major transformation in their life. I feel like this could be, you know, just a mental and emotional transformation, but also maybe a physical, a spiritual transformation, in like a physical, like location. I mean, like there could have been a move involved, because I'm seeing movement here with this 2 of Wands, like having to go forward somewhere. Also, the 8 of Cups is leaving home behind and transitioning towards a new location, to a new home. So it feels like there's a lot of transformation going on. Like I said at the beginning, this feels like the Death card, death, rebirth, transformation. And something had to die out for the new start to begin. Something had to end, something had to transform. But I feel like they realize, once they get to talking to you, that, you know, you've been through a lot and you struggled, and you were stressed out and tired and, you know, basically exhausted, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically. And they realize how strong you are, because you were able to, you know, leave all that behind. You know, forgive yourself for maybe if you feel like you held yourself back in some way and self-sabotaged for too long. I feel like a lot of you are just going to end up forgiving yourself for that and saying, you know what, from here on out, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to manifest what I want to manifest. I'm going to live my dream life. And they see you as somebody who's doing that, who is living in their wish fulfillment, who has that wonderful business that's successful and abundant and prosperous. But you also have that compassionate side that's, you know, where you're sharing your wealth and you're very generous and charitable. So it feels like a very balanced energy. So yeah, pile number 3, that's how people see you. Hopefully something in this reading resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.